thank you kindly for joining us on the I Love CVille Show. It's great to connect with you through a network today that's presented by Mexicali Restaurant, by Pro Renata, and ladies and gentlemen, by the Charlottesville Business Brokers. Mexicali Restaurant, the old World of Beer location, has 50 parking spots literally in the building that are free for you to enjoy. Walk into Mexicali Restaurant and you're greeted by a menu, a experience that is part art museum, part craft cocktail bar, part Californian and Latin cuisine, and part live music venue. Johnny Ornalis and River Hawkins, you guys have built something special. The old World of Beer spot on West Main. And how about Dr. John Shabe's team at Pro Renata? They've pivoted the Crozet location to a sports bar that's the Disney World of Crozet. We probably will find ourselves there this weekend. Our kids, my wife, our friends alike. And they're doing real estate development, a restaurant, a bar in downtown Stanton, and they're brewing their beer, the old Skipping Rock location in the Shenandoah Valley. Pro Renata, job well done. A lot we're going to cover on the program. We'll talk business acquisition. As the largest player in food and beverage in the Charlottesville and Central Virginia region, and a key player in the Commonwealth across the board, has now exited their positions, 13 in totality, through the sale of a portfolio of Panera Bread cafes. The Postle and Jackson family, right here in Albemarle County, are key contributors, not only through philanthropy, their charitable donations to the UVA Children's Hospital, but they're key contributors with hiring people in food and beverage. They've sold 13 Panera Breads to an outfit called the Flynn Group, including 11 in the Commonwealth of Virginia. We'll unpack this deal on the Friday edition of the I Love CVille Show. On today's program, ladies and gentlemen, we will talk about an advertising story in Fluvanna County Public Schools that has many in the community asking, what is going on? How is a gun manufacturer allowed to advertise their business in fundraising capacity with elementary, middle school, and high school age kids and their families? A parent has emailed us. We covered this story earlier in the week. We heard it garnered a lot of traction in Fluvanna County. And now a parent has said, Jerry and Judah, how about another side to think about on this gun manufacturer story and how it pertains to our children in Fluvanna? We will read that email on air with their permission. I think both Judah and I found it quite compelling. We appreciate perspectives that even disagree or counter ours, because all we want to do is be the water cooler of conversation for this community. On today's program, we'll highlight a University of Virginia alum who is donating $10 million to the Data Science School, a school funded by friend of the program, Jaffrey Woodruff, who's a hell of a squash player. $10 million for scholarship allocation with the Data Science School that is folks going to have a significant impact on our community and a significant impact on placing university graduates into a field of business that's not just the future, but it's today. We'll have a topic, the Lewis Mountain neighborhood, that we did not get to yesterday, come up today, I promise you. It's my prediction that this neighborhood will be the most radically changed in all of the city due to the new zoning ordinance. Perhaps you, Judah, will offer your take on which neighborhood could compete with Lewis Mountain on how it's radically changed by the NZO. And we'll highlight a proposition bet that Judah and I have as it applies to new units coming to the market in a Tony and affluent neighborhood, Lewis Mountain, positioned within a hop, skip, and a jump of Thomas Jefferson's University. Today, we will also highlight the Charlottesville-Albemarle SPCA. Do they have leverage over the city of Charlottesville and Albemarle County? The embattled Charlottesville and Albemarle SPCA, with a brand new executive director and many new staff members, are utilizing perception and leverage tactics to try to negotiate a new contract with Albemarle County and the city of Charlottesville, and how both jurisdictions fund the nonprofit. Remember, Charlottesville City and Albemarle County rely on the SPCA for pound services. There's not a pound in Albemarle and Charlottesville, and because of that, this nonprofit may have, as Judah Wickower called it, Albemarle and the city over a barrel. I call it by the short and curlies. We'll give props to Charlottesville Business Brokers online at charlottesvillebusinessbrokers.com. The team helps buyers and sellers looking to acquire positions or outright own companies in Central Virginia. We do a lot of business, Charlottesville Business Brokers, online at charlottesvillebusinessbrokers.com. Judah Wickower on a two-shot. How about the Adam Jackson, Kelly Jackson, and Rick Postle story? Their firm, Judah Wickower, Blue Ridge Bread Company, exiting their positions, 13 of them, 11 in the Commonwealth, 2 in West Virginia. They sell to an organization called the Flynn Group. This is breaking news for the Central Virginia community. We are talking the most significant food and beverage operator in Central Virginia. Panera Breads, anywhere you see them, ladies and gentlemen, formerly owned by Blue Ridge Bread. Now, this company, who has done a fantastic job of creating economic vitality, a fantastic job of creating new jobs, a fantastic job of contributing tax revenue to Albemarle, to Charlottesville, and Central Virginia, and an absolutely fantastic job of donating to the UVA Children's Hospital. They are exiting their positions, 11 of them in the Commonwealth, a handful of them in Central Virginia. Blue Ridge Bread was founded by Rick Postle, a gentleman I've had the pleasure of meeting and interviewing on the I Love CVille Show. It's a company run by Kelly Jackson and Adam Jackson. Adam is the president. Kelly is the executive vice president. Adam, a fantastic guy. Kelly, a friend of the program. Had a pleasure of enjoying a cup of joe and a cocktail with KJ. Blue Ridge Bread, founded by Rick, a man who took Panera into its current form. Remember, Postle, the first president of Panera LLC, he led Panera's conversion from St. Louis Bread Company to Panera Bread. Rick Postle, who lives locally in the Ivy area, initiated a franchise program which accounts for more than 1,000 units today. I am constantly amazed by the heavy hitters that live in Charlottesville and Albemarle County.
Yeah.
We have, I think it's 3 billionaires that live in Charlottesville and Albemarle County. I would stack up the billionaires that live in this area from a per capita basis against most any community in the country, ladies and gentlemen. And it's not just men and women of deep-pocketed affluence. It's men and women that are at the cutting edge of their respective fields. We're about to tell you the story of a $10 million charitable donation to the Data Science School, a man who makes the donation thanks to his commitment to the University of Virginia and his matriculation through the engineering school at UVA. But first, we'll stay focused on this Panera story. I find it bittersweet. I'm extremely happy for the Postle family. I'm extremely happy for the Jackson family. I'm extremely happy for ownership and leadership within Blue Ridge Bread Company. I think that anytime a company is able to exit their position and get a nice payday, and they certainly are getting a nice payday here, that we have to give them props, accolades. The bitter aspect of it for me is this. The Jacksons, the Postles, they ran their business the right way every day, all day, and twice on Sunday. They took care of their employees. They looked for key locations in the Commonwealth, key locations in Charlottesville and Albemarle to create new positions. They consolidated positions when they needed to. They managed COVID and the pandemic like a dream. They threaded that needle extremely well. They did well by the employees, and their commitment to the Children's Hospital with charitable donations was something to talk about, and talk about it we did. Mm-hmm. We've been told by Kelly, friend of the program, that the Flynn Group is going to continue its commitment in support of UVA Children's Hospital with its Round-Up program. We like to hear that.
Yeah, and the Flynn Group has been they first bought 47 locations back in 2015. So I think it's safe to say that there's an ongoing relationship that is built on trust, and the Jacksons and the Apostles know that they can leave these spots in the Flynn Group's hands without any worries.
The Flynn Group owns locations in Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Washington, California, Kansas, Missouri, Ohio, Kentucky, now West Virginia. With this acquisition, I believe they've surpassed 100 Panera cafes in their portfolio. You're talking about a heavy hitter in the Panera space, this group. We'll see how they acclimate themselves to Central Virginia, the region we're most concerned about. Either way, the breaking news is this: Adam Jackson, Kelly Jackson, Rick Postel, their leadership team, their families have sold their 13 cafes to the Flynn Group, including a handful of cafes right here in Central Virginia. So props and kudos to them. Our next headline, Judah Wickower, is an email we received from someone I respect quite a bit. I first met Donna, and Donna, is it Doma? I apologize if I'm messing your last name up. I first met Donna when I was hosting a television show for NBC 29, 2 TV shows that bared my name, writing for the newspaper, The Daily Progress, for Jerry Ratcliffe, who's been a mentor of sorts, and hosting a syndicated talk show on ESPN Radio. She was very active, Donna, in the Fluvanna County athletic community, photography standpoint, and just being an excellent champion of Fluco sports. She writes Judah and I an email about commentary we offered earlier in the week. First, the who, what, when, where, why from you, Judah, on the gun manufacturer from Fork Union, Virginia, that has branding and advertising at elementary and middle school fundraising events. Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much it. There's a company, Red Arrow, that I believe started as a TV program.
Hunting video company.
Hunting, yeah. And
hunting video company.
And they expanded the business model to sell weapons.
Manufacturing guns.
Hunting weapons. And one of the, who was it? I'm trying to remember. One of the locals works for this company. And the company has donated money to the school for an event, and some parents have a problem with the company's logo being shown at the school because it is a
gun manufacturer. RedArrowWeapons.com is the website. RedArrowWeapons.com. Fork Union, not military, but Fork Union, Virginia-based company. They got a P.O. box in Fork Union on the website. Fluvanna County-based company. Here's the nitty-gritty. And then we'll read the email from Donna. Fundraisers, elementary and middle schools. They go to the businesses and the stakeholders in the community, and they say, help us raise money for the kids. Help us raise money for the teachers. One of the stakeholders that's looking to contribute to schools in Fluvanna is a gun manufacturer from Fluvanna, Red Arrow Weapons. And as part of the donation, they asked that their logo be present so they can champion their donation efforts. Earlier in the week, I had this take. I said, how would we feel if a marijuana company donated money to an elementary or middle school and said, put my marijuana logo in your hallway. I said earlier in the week, how would you feel if the Marlboro man donated money to your elementary and middle school and said, I want the Marlboro man in his cowboy hat with his lasso, with his chaps, and with his leather vest smack dab in front of your kids. And I said, how would you feel if a local liquor company donated money to your elementary and middle school and said, hey, brand my company in the hallways? I asked the question, don't you have to be 18 to smoke weed legally? Don't you have to be 18 to smoke cigarettes legally? Don't you have to be 21 to drink legally? Did I break those rules when I was a kid? Probably. I hope to God our sons are not going to be like how I was.
Rules for thee, not for me.
I hope to God our sons are not going to be like how I was. My point is this. If you have to be 18 to booze, or 18 to smoke ciggies, 18 to smoke the hippie lettuce, and 21 to booze, and you have to be 18 to buy a gun, wouldn't we follow the same protocol with advertising? You don't see liquor companies or cigarette companies or weed companies advertising in elementary or middle school fundraisers, do you? Why would you allow a gun manufacturer to do the same? That's the take I had. I thought it was a take rooted in sound commentary and sound reasoning. And I still do. Yeah. But I got an email from someone I respect, and Donna, and she has this to say, which I'm going to pass along to you. It's an indication of what we want the show to be. We want it to be a water cooler of perspective, whether it's for or against our takes. We don't want people to agree with us. Mm-hmm. We want every perspective possible. This is what Donna writes. Jerry, thank you for your show. Thank you for the information you provide. Please thank Judah as well. I am a fan of the show. As a 30-year resident of Fluvanna and as a non-Lake Monticello person, I have a different take from you and Judah. Red Arrow started as a hunting video company. Red Arrow Firearms came after and is a separate LLC. The hunting video company has been donating to the schools as a generous community business for about 10 years. My inside source says their donation was for the raffle with tickets being sold to parents and adults. None of their logo items display firearms. As for the argument for a product for under 18, I believe you can hunt in Virginia at 14 years old. Several local restaurants with bars in their facilities and grocery stores that sell alcohol also donated. At the school board meeting, 2 people complained. This fuss is because Fluvanna has Lake Monticello and some clustered subdivisions. The rest of Fluvanna County is like us. Homes on 3 to 10 acres, on quiet roads, a lot of private gravel roads. We feed our families on harvested venison, which is truly organic lean protein. We depend on this harvested lean venison when we are raising our children on 1.25 salaries. The full-time, one a nurse. Today, I'm sure many Fluvanna families are depending on hunting and their gardens to get by. So all I ask before you throw these stories out is to provide this information as well. And remember, you are affluent. I don't begrudge that. You got after it and you earned it, Jerry. It's how you roll. We need guys like you. But there are many who live differently than you, either by choice or by life's circumstances, namely the entrepreneur of Red Arrow. From all I hear, he's a decent, hardworking guy, and he did not deserve the negativity. You want to respond and react to that, Judah, before I do? That was an email from Donna, who I respect and appreciate, and I found her email compelling, and I wanted to share it with you, the viewer and listener. Show is yours, Judah Wickower.
I think it's an eye-opening take, and I definitely appreciate her sending this to you. We often look at things through lenses of a certain, whether it's a socioeconomic background, whether it's, growing up with a certain skin color, and we don't always know how other people see things. And I think this is a wonderful take and gives a different perspective on this story and how it's not quite as outrageous as it may seem on first blush.
Does it change your position? Does the email change your position?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. So you're okay with a gun manufacturer now having its advertising and branding placement within eyeshot and within hallways and on school grounds of elementary age students and middle school age students?
If you've seen the logo, and she makes a great point, the logo doesn't have any firearms on it. In fact,
the logo of Budweiser used to be a dog with a spotted eye.
The point being that
the logo of Lung Butter Sticks is a cowboy.
I don't know if you'd call that a logo.
I'd say the Marlboro Man's the definition of logo and branding. Do you remember the spotted one-eyed dog from Budweiser?
Vaguely.
Do you remember when Budweiser used to have frogs as their spokesman? Bud.
Yeah.
Do you know why
But
alcohol and cigarette providers and manufacturers use cowboys and dogs and toads as their spokesman and branding?
Go ahead.
To humanize, localize, personalize, and to appeal to the next generation of drinkers and smokers. There's a reason why Boone's, remember Boone's Farm when we were growing up? We'd drink Boone's from time to time. There's a reason why some of these cocktail mixed drinks, the Four Locos, the branding is not catered to 40-somethings or 30-somethings or 20-somethings. It's catered to teens. And it's catered to teens because it wants to appeal to a teen smoker and a teen drinker, even though it's not legally allowed by law. And they know it's the customer of tomorrow. Vaping cigarettes, vaping tobacco, bubble gum, mint, fruity tooty. Oh, Rudy, why are those flavors out on the shelves? Because they want to appeal to teens. The smoker of today, despite not being legal, and the smoker of tomorrow. How is that any different, and I'm pushing back, I'll give you time to speak, than having a gun manufacturer logo that may not have a gun in it in the hallways? Still alters or influences behavior.
I'm sure that's true for all of those things. I don't know if that's true here. The logo is not a cool guy in glasses. It's not a puppy or a kitten. It's just a logo, and I think the point that this is a different place, a different district. This is not the city. This is not Charlottesville or Albemarle County. This is this is a place where probably a good portion of the kids are already intimately familiar with guns and hunting.
I would say that's fair.
And I think that given this perspective, I think a lot of the hype is probably, just hype.
All right. Let's get, Nate Kibler says it's Spud McKenzie. Nate Kibler, the star of the White Mountain Ministries show, airs Tuesdays at 2:30 p.m. on the I Love CVille Network. Follow White Mountain Ministries. You can find it online on a beautifully designed and developed website, whitemountainministries.com. The show re-airs on Sunday mornings on the I Love CVille Network. Nate Kibler, a superstar. Kelly Jackson, watching the program, she says, the Flynn Group is amazing. We are excited to be able to sell our Panera breads to the Flynn Group. We will continue to support Virginia Children's as a family. We love that organization. Nice. Kelly Jackson, we appreciate you, and congratulations on the sale of your 13 Panera breads. Quite a milestone moment for you and your family. John Blair said that was Spud McKenzie, Jerry, and I'll get to John Blair's comments in a matter of moments. Kevin Yancey, maybe this is a question for Nate Kibler, who's watching the program. Would you be okay if there were a local church, if it were a local church that was asking for its branding and advertising in the elementary and middle school. And Judah, I'll push back on you. Nate, Kelly, Kevin, John, Jennifer, Spencer, Ray, Juan, local newspaper, local TV stations watching the program. I ask you this question. If a local gun manufacturer can say, hey, on Judah's logic, our logo doesn't have guns in it. Hey, on Judah's logic, we're a local company that started as a video hunting business. Hey, on Judah's logic, we're donating money to the schools. We deserve a branding position in there. What is to keep the local liquor distiller, Vitae Spirits, now owned by Stefan Freeman, the food and beverage virtuoso who started as a distress assets acquisition specialist? He owns Body and Reed. He owns Vitae Spirits. He owns part of Little John's. He owns part of Ace. He owns Ace Biscuit and Barbecue. He owns, I've been told, Licking Hole Creek Brewery. He owns Vitae Spirits. What's to say that he says, hey, Fluvanna County Schools, here's $1,000. Put the Vitae Spirits logo in your elementary school and your middle school. No, Mr. Freeman, you can't do that. You're selling booze. It's for 21-year-olds. Not so fast, my friends, in the words of Lee Corso. This gun manufacturer's in there. It's the same logic. Isn't that a Pandora's box that's waiting to open? A lawsuit waiting to materialize? Talk to me, Judah. Talk to me.
You know, I honestly don't think I would have a problem with Vitae Spirits logo going up on something like that.
Oh my goodness gracious! Great balls of fire!
Do we really think kids are going to try to sneak into Vitae Spirits and buy bottles of
Can you
liquor?
tell Judah Wickhauer doesn't have any children, ladies and gentlemen? This is what Judah Wickhauer has argued for on the Friday. It must be Friday the 13th. Because reasonable and sane Judah Wickhauer is saying, put them guns in the school and put them liquor bottles in the school. I got no problem with that.
I mean, there is such a thing as having some common sense, having some being able to look at something objectively.
David Trecorici, friend of the program, advertising partner of the program at one time, Skooma Boutique Dispensary. Sells weed, sells CBD, sells THC, sells gummies, sells edibles, sells pre-rolled joints. Fantastic guy, father of 3. Love David Trecorici. He advertised it on the I Love CVille Show, David Trecorici. We helped launch Skooma Boutique Dispensary with their advertising management. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
Can Skooma Boutique Dispensary advertise in elementary and middle schools? You said it was okay if the booze did it. You said if it's okay if the guns do it. Can the weed do it? Can the hippie lettuce, the cannabis, the cabbage, the ganja, the THC, the marijuana?
Do you need to Google some more?
I didn't even Google it. That's just speaking from
I
experience.
know, but maybe you need
the Fruity Tooty? The Scottsville Skunk? The Crow's Egg Crazy? Are you okay if Skooma does it, Judah?
You know, I think if it was just the name, Skooma, I wouldn't really have a problem with it.
The Mary Jane.
But again, there's...
The Keef.
This is not a decision that one person should be making.
The Reefer. Reefer Madness.
Oh, man.
So you got no problem if a weed retailer advertises in an elementary or middle school?
I think we need to...
Do you see the Pandora's box that's opening here?
Yeah, I see it. And it's...
Do you see, viewers and listeners?
I think it's the kind of thing that that a locality like this has to decide for themselves. And this letter is a perfect example of why that's the case. Because we don't know what it's like living out there. And when you
out there, it's effing 20 minutes from where we're at right now.
Yeah.
It's 25 minutes right now. We're not talking about the Middle East here.
Right. But how many kids in Charlottesville live on, as the letter says, venison? that is self shot and cleaned.
Stephanie Wells Rhodes watching the program, a one-time Lake Monticello resident, now living in Keswick. She agrees 100% with Donna. Hunting is very big in Fluvanna County. I was kind of surprised it was even an issue and brought up. Nate Kibler, star of the White Mountain Ministry show. I will say I have prayed over the Red Arrow guy. Don't know the full story, but I know he's an awesome man and an awesome family. We need to get a Nate Kibler photo. I hope he comments on future programs. Let's get a picture that we can put on screen for Nate Kibler, a man with a beautiful family, a man who is making quite a positive impact in this program. Kevin Higgins watching the program. Chad Wood, you just made me laugh out loud. Chad Wood says, are you guys eating that gluten-free deer?
Is that such a thing?
Chad Wood starred in the single wing attack for Steve Isaacs as the Western Albemarle football team stormed through the Jefferson District and made its way to a deep in the state playoffs. Kevin Higgins, the mayor of Greenwood, watching this program. He says, that basket is currently at a $200 bid. I guarantee you this time next week it's $5,000. I know that for a fact. To keep promoting them. Jerry and Judah. Nate Kibler, how about this, Jerry Miller? Red Arrow can be a sponsor for my show. Nate Kibler, I've said you need to be in sales meetings 6 to 10 hours a week. Are you doing that, my friend? Are you meeting that time commitment? I certainly am. Kelly Jackson says, the difference is kids can't drink, but they can hunt legally. Chad Wood says, common sense, that doesn't exist anymore. Chad Wood says, they are selling worse things in our elementary schools. Like that hippie lettuce and that ganja. And you know, when we grew up, weed was flour in a bag, 3.5 or 7 grams, $40 or $50 an eighth, $80 or $90 a quarter. Now it's cartridges and tar and oil, and gummies and butter. And the potency is completely different. That's a topic for another day. Nate Kibler laughing out loud right now. I love you too, Nate Kibler. Be giving you a fist bump and a hug right now. Logan Wells Claylow, thank you kindly for watching the program. 3 media outlets of the legacy variety watching the show. This, the water cooler of Central Virginia, where news is curated, originated, and then ends up in the legacy cycle 24 to 48 hours after we broadcast. Kevin Yancey in Waynesboro, are kids sheltered constantly while in public? Children are bombarded with all forms of advertising hourly. A parent that's raising their kids right doesn't even have to address this. It's a fair point.
Yeah.
This is the point I want to make. If a gun manufacturer, and I have no problem with this gun manufacturer, I want nothing but the best of luck for Red Arrow Weapons. I want the ownership team of Red Arrow Weapons to sell 50%, 100%, infinite percent more weapons in 2024 versus 2023. I hope this gives them incredible attention. I have no issue with a family that owns this, no issue with a locally owned business. There is no bigger champion of business in Central Virginia than yours truly, than Judah Wickower. We're a branding and advertising agency. We're business brokerage, and we raise funding. We help raise venture for businesses that want to scale. We are tied to small, mid-cap, small-cap entrepreneurs, whatever you want to describe them, people looking to get market share and grow. That's what we do. It's not the podcasting network, although that's probably some of the most fun we have. My point is this. If you allow a gun manufacturer to be a fundraising partner with their branding and advertising in the hallways of elementary and middle schools,
what do you open the door for?
What are you opening the door to? Because how do you say no to a dispensary or a local distillery who wants the same treatment and platform? How could you say no to them? This is the saying.
Pretty easily.
This is the saying. Oh,
No.
they've been hunting since they were 14 years old. They've been hunting since they were 14 years old. My kid's going to a brewery and a winery since he's 6 months old. With that logic, I've been taking my kids to breweries and wineries since they were babies.
I think
What is the difference?
I think Kevin Yancey made an incredible point in that the difference is in parenting. If you are assured of the job that you've done parenting your children, it doesn't matter what is advertised at a fundraiser. You trust in your kids that they're not going to see a logo and go out and do any of the things that you've been hinting at.
Okay. I also believe in pixie dust and unicorns and giraffes that we can ride to the toy store.
Alrighty then.
Okay. Let's cut to the chase here. Parents, if you're parenting the right way, your kid's not going to be corrupted or infiltrated or influenced by advertising. Yeah, that's all fine and dandy, but let's cut to the chase. Is that real life?
But have you seen the logo?
I have seen the logo. You work in the branding business. Why was Spud McKenzie and the Toads?
What do those have to do with this logo?
Because it's called branding.
Okay.
It's called the manipulation of perception. That's what branding is.
Okay.
What is branding and advertising?
I see. I'm not going to...
No. It's a fantastic conversation for a talk show. What are we in the business of? I say it all the time to you, Judah. It's taken you 14 years. I'm still not sure if you're going to get this answer correct. What are we in the business of?
Something about perceptions.
Okay, still 14 years in, you still don't know this answer. 14 years you've working at this firm and you still don't know. What are we in the business of?
Influencing perceptions.
Carajo, coño, chico. Te voy a matar.
You should write it down and put it on a plaque.
I've literally probably told you this 150 times a year for the last 14 years. We're in the business of perception management.
See, I knew it was something about perception.
Perception management. If you can manage perception, then you have a key advantage. Because eyeballs are currency. When you have eyeballs and influence over eyeballs, people and how they see things, you have currency. Currency that can be utilized in many different ways. Currency where you can sell a product. Currency where you can have a call to action. You offer some kind of instruction of what to do. Currency of how the market should move. What news should be reported in the legacy cycle.
Okay.
That's the whole concept of this podcasting network. It's currency of attention. We have other topics we could get to. We've promised the Lewis Mountain story. This is a hell of a topic for a talk show because it can go a lot of different ways. Chad Wood makes a joke. That hippie lettuce price of the 50 for the eighth and the 80 for the quarter. Man, those were pre-pandemic prices, Jerry. The inflation has gone rampant. It's not just the milk and the bacon and the cigarettes and the booze. It's the Scottsville skunk as well. What's our next topic? Judah B. Wickower, jack of all trades, jack of all wit.
Oh, man.
Key contributor to this fine and fair talk show. Is it the 10 mil UVA alum?
Yeah.
How about we spend 90 seconds on this? Siri, set a timer for 90 seconds.
1 minute and 30 seconds. Counting
A
down.
viewer and listener of our talk show, Judah, his name is Alex, lives over in Ivy. He says, Jerry, every time you do this, and I'm listening in the car, his Siri sets a timer. All right, 90 seconds on this. You offer some commentary. Let me set the who, what, when, where, why. $10 million announced Thursday for the Data Science School, a school funded by friend of the program, Jaffrey Woodruff. The Data Science School is getting this $10 million commitment from Scott and Beth Stevenson. It's going to fund a scholarship program. This is a pretty big deal here.
Stevenson Data Science Bicentennial Scholars Fund.
Yeah. It's going to be matched by $10 million from the university to take it to $20 million.
Yeah.
This guy, Scott Stevenson, is a product of the UVA Engineering School. He is a 79 graduate of the Engineering and Applied Science School. He's been involved with data science throughout his academic and professional careers. He's the founder of SGS Capital and former chair and president of CEO of Verisk Analytics. I'm going to tell you right now, parents, if you think, Siri, stop talking. If you think data science is the field of tomorrow, or the field of next year, you are mistaken. It's the field of today. If there's a field I would want our kids to get into, it would be data science. I'm telling you right now, it would be data science. Any commentary you want to offer on the $10 million gift as Siri gives us the 90-second marker?
I think this is great, especially in regards to, the way I see things. And again, this is, like I said, we all have different lenses through which we view things. And, we hear a lot about people donating to UVA, and oftentimes that's accompanied by pointing out how much money UVA is sitting on, or at least the UVA Foundation. And so I like to hear stories like this where money donated to the school is going to scholarships.
Big time stuff here. John Blair watching the program on LinkedIn. Love JB. Spud McKenzie, don't forget, for years the most popular ads during the Super Bowl, including with kids, was the Bud Bowl. Remember the Bud Bowl?
Yeah.
Bud Bowl was awesome, John Blair. He also says, what's more dangerous on a societal basis for children, a gun manufacturer or TikTok? TikTok scares the bejeebus out of me. Like, what are the Chinese garnering from our data with TikTok? You can do your dancing, and you can do your food pics, and you can do your muscle pics and your hookup pics on TikTok. But is the Chinese getting that data? That's a question for another day. He says, I asked that because don't schools utilize Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and other social media platforms? Doesn't that make an impression on kids on where they get their info? Well said.
No
This
doubt.
comes via Facebook direct message. Please keep this anonymous, Jerry. The Fluco issue is intriguing. Like, good for the company donating to the school, but then the Marlboro Man and alcohol sets a good precedent. If I was Fluco management, I would consider saying, we are grateful for your donation and support. We encourage you to hang a proud supporter of the local schools type of banner or signage on your property or website, but we don't allow signage for 18 plus products on our grounds as a rule. Just a thought. I concur.
Yeah. I think the biggest misstep in that whole story is the fact that this could have been a discussion, and instead it sounds like the school board members were looking down their noses at anyone who disagreed with the decision. I think that could have been handled much better.
Very well said. All right, 117 marker. Kevin Higgins and Chad Wood, a little squabble in the debate in the comment section of my personal Facebook page. Love Higgins. Love Wood. Love you guys. Logan Wells Clalo, love you. Stacy Baker Patty, love you. Viewer and listeners of all shapes and sizes, of all colors, we love you here on what is the water cooler of Charlottesville and Central Virginia, the I Love CVille Show. The next headline, Judah B. Wickower. Talk to me, Papa Bear. Talk to me.
Albemarle County rent prices.
You put the lower third on screen?
Yep.
Albemarle County rent prices are up 34% since 2019. I can assure you since 2019, wages have not increased 34%.
Definitely not.
But the rents are up 34%.
Yeah.
We had a show this morning called Real Talk with Keith Smith, where we had attorney Bill Tucker of Tucker Griffin Barnes and Katie West of Charlottesville Settlement Company. Between their two real estate firms, their two legal firms, they do 250 real estate closings a month. 250 real estate closings a month in the CAR Charlottesville Area Association of Realtors footprint. The team this morning on our real estate show, Real Talk with Keith Smith, fantastically designed a website at realtalkwithkeithsmith.com, if I do say so myself. And I asked them this question. Of your 250 closings, how many of these closings involve an out-of-market buyer? Katie West said at least 20%. Bill Tucker said 25%. So of the 250 closings they do a month, 20%
Are out of area.
out of market, according to Charlottesville Settlement, and 25% Tucker Griffin Barnes. I then followed up the question, how many of those are all cash buyers? They said half. Think about that. 20 to 25% of the 250 closings they do a month are out-of-market buyers, and half of those are all cash.
Yeah, so 10 to 12% of...
Nate Kibler, you can have any sponsor you want on your show. I've said from day one, what you do with your show is what you want to do, pal. And I also said you should be meeting with prospective partners 6 to 10 hours a week. I'm doing that, Kibler. Here's my point. When that kind of out-of-market impact is affecting a 300,000 person market, rents are going to go up. Explain to me why, Judah Wickower.
Because a lot of those people are probably not buying the houses to live in them.
Go deeper. I think you're onto it.
People coming into the market are, looking for investments, and an investment needs a return, and the best way to get a return is to get as much as you can possibly get for your, for your rental, whether it's year round or Airbnb, and once a few people start, getting $1,500, $2,000 for a particular property, then that sets a comp, and other people nearby start going with the flow, and soon the whole area has an increased rent price.
Partially correct. On a scale of 1 to 100, I'm going to allocate you an 85%.
I'll take that.
85% still gets you on the honor roll. Depends on the school you're in. Here's what's happening. 20 to 25% out-of-market buyers. Some of those out-of-market buyers are doing this in second home capacity. Correct what Judah said. Some of those out-of-market buyers are using that second home capacity for Virginia sporting events or just to get away from their first home. Mm-hmm. Some of them are choosing to Airbnb their houses. Regardless, it's eating up housing stock that could go to in-market renters.
Yeah.
Many of those out-of-market buyers are, in fact, moving to Charlottesville and calling this their new primary home. In that scenario, they're either retirees with deep pockets or they're hybrid remote workers that are able to maintain their major metropolitan source of income and work through an internet service provider in their tighty-whities, in their bathrobe, and their tank tops in their basements. They're making bank outside the market and they're spending it in market. When you have that kind of wealth coming into the area, not only are you cannibalizing real estate for locals, not only are you taking real estate that would go to rentals and converting them into Airbnb or short-term rentals, but you're also bringing in a type of wealth that can also afford to dabble and speculate as real estate investors themselves. Mm-hmm. There's a reason according to the HUD, the average family household income is $124,200 in the Charlottesville metropolitan area. $124,200. We're talking the average HUD family household income in this area. Mm-hmm. That in 2023, according to HUD. That number went up from $123,300 in 2022, a $900 increase. I guarantee you it's going to go up in 2024. When that kind of wealth moves into the area, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have speculation and you're going to have rents go up.
Add to that the fact that somebody posted a look at year-end building reports from 2018 to 2023 in Albemarle County, and 2018 had 1,196. Next year was 1,137, then 1,365, then 1,114. In 2022, it was 939. In 2023, it was 581, which means a dwindling supply that is more and more going to things like you said, Airbnbs.
Put this chart from Real Talk on. I think this is slide 1. It's this one. This one right here.
Hold on. What's the first number?
The headline, slide number 1. I'll slide over to your shot over here. I'm sliding over to Judah's shot. This one here. Oh, that's it, Judah. That's it, Judah Wickower.
Yeah, here it is.
Okay, look at the screen, viewers and listeners. This, according to the Charlottesville Area Association of Realtors. In 2024, we have 2,054 units sold. That does not matter the housing type. This also includes new construction. This is the lowest amount of units sold in an 8-year period of time due to by a substantial amount.
Yeah.
And look at the home value increase. The red line at the bottom, in 2024, the median value for those units, 2,054, 480,000.
Yeah.
Think about this. From 2016 to 2024, home values have jumped from 275 to 480. Mm-hmm. That is an obscene return.
Yeah.
An obscene return for sleeping on a pillow. Sleeping on a pillow and fixing your housing overhead. Mm. You're not impacted by the 34% rent increase in a 5-year period since 2019.
Right.
So not only are you getting the value increase, go back to Jerry. Not only are you getting the value increase, 8-year period of time, 275 to 480, not only are you fixing your housing overhead, 30-year fixed mortgage, but you're staying the hell away from a 34% increase in rents in a 5-year period of time. Yeah. This is how the rich get richer.
Yep.
This is the rich get richer sleeping on a Savvy Rest mattress. I sleep on a Savvy Rest mattress. We sleep on a California King. It's very nice.
Alrighty then.
When my wife is angry with me and we're on a California King, she can go all the way to one side of the bed, leave plenty of room for the Holy Spirit in the middle. I'm like, sweetheart, won't you come talk to me? She said, you see that area? Don't cross it. I'm like, okay. Sorry, sweetheart. Sorry. 34% increase in rent since 2019. Ay, mi madre chico. Next headline, Judah Wickower. Bill McChesney, welcome to the program. Love you, Bill McChesney, the mayor of McIntyre. Got 3 supervisors and a counselor watching the show. Caitlin Pearson says, Jerry, you are spot on with your Fluvanna take. I promise you the Lewis Mountain headline. First, the prop bet Judah and I have. By the end of the year, our bet is 9 homes in the Tony and affluent Lewis Mountain neighborhood will go on the market. We established the start of the bet at what, about 10 days ago, roughly? A couple weeks ago. We put the over-under at 9. Judah has the over. I have the under. If 9 units in Lewis Mountain go on for sale, not closed, just for sale, no one wins. If 10 or more, Judah wins. If 8 or less, I win. Right now, we have 3. I think Judah's in a pretty good position to potentially win this bet. I don't think Judah's ever won a prop bet on this talk show.
Well, except for the...
Nope, you didn't win it. You had a chance to go balls to the wall in the Jack Browns one. We shook hands and you said, I want to take it based on the manager and what he said and the fact that there were only 5 on the schedule. I said, do you want to chance it and see what happens after 7? Your exact words were, no, let's take what the manager said and what's on the schedule and call it a push.
Right. And then you said on the show the next day.
I said I was going to bring a bottle of Johnny Walker Black to the studio because you've been working hard and I thought you did a good job with this bet.
Okay. Well, that's fair then.
Yeah. You could have gone balls to the wall and tried to win the bet.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. This could be the first bet you've ever won. The question I have for you is this. I'm curious to see if you think there's another neighborhood that will be more radically changed than Lewis Mountain, thanks to the new zoning ordinance. Do we have these lower thirds on screen?
Yeah.
Do you have one? Do you agree that the Lewis Mountain one's going to be radically changed?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I think this one is the watermark for what will come in other areas. I think this will be, the example that others will look at and be like, what is viable in this area? Especially considering it's going into a nice neighborhood like Lewis Mountain.
Dude, it starts at $800K, goes north at $2 million.
Yeah.
Starts at 800, goes north of 2 mil, Lewis Mountain. The reason I think it's going to be most radically changed is because of the historically affluent and Tony aspect of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's one thing to add density, and it's one thing to add condos, townhomes, and apartments to a neighborhood that is historically marginalized.
Right.
Will you see Fifeville change? Yeah, because the land is affordable. Will you see 10th and Page change? Yeah, because the land is affordable. Will you see Woolen Mills change? Yeah, because the land is affordable. Lewis Mountain, someone bought an $835,000 house, a rancher. Was that 303 Alderman Road?
Yeah, I think so.
Is going to tear it down and is going to build $6 million plus townhomes. Mm-hmm. There's no neighborhood that's going to be more radically changed in its history and its character than Tony, affluent, well-positioned, close to the University of Virginia, Lewis Mountain. And I predicted this was going to happen 2 years ago. The tape justifies that prediction. The tape justifies that prediction. I said this was going to happen. There's many circumstances on this Fine and Fair talk show where predictions that we have made have materialized and become reality, and this is another one. Mm-hmm. Last topic of the talk show. Do we have one, or we cover? Oh, the Charlottesville-Albemarle SPCA. Yeah. Good night. Is this a topic? There's no. Put the lower third on screen. There's no pound in Charlottesville, right, and there's no pound in Albemarle County.
Right. We completely rely on the Charlottesville-Albemarle SPCA. And they want more money. And I don't know that they're wrong. I mean, despite all of the
I don't think they're wrong.
All of the you-know-what show that's
brouhaha,
going on
poop
there.
Show, shenanigans, brand damage, tomfoolery, PR nightmare that's been the CASPCA over the last 24 months. They're saying, Charlottesville and Albemarle, we need more money. We are your pound, and you have to legally have a pound. Yeah. If you don't give us more money, and what's the contribution from Charlottesville and Albemarle?
The contribution from Charlottesville and Albemarle is currently at $1.1 million. I believe the
Albemarle gives more.
The breakdown, is $804,000 from Albemarle and $317,000 from Charlottesville. That's about 20% of CASPCA's current budget. And they are asking they would like the city and county to pay 80% of their budget, which would come to $3.6 million.
And this is what they could say. Give us more money, or you're not going to use us for a pound anymore.
Yeah. And
they could go balls to the wall and play hardball there.
Yeah. And the city and county are mandated to have a pound. And so if we don't have CASPCA, we would have to build one or solicit someone to come build one.
And that's going to cost a lot more money than what they're asking.
Yeah. The estimates that I've seen say around $30 million, and of course that is going to get passed down to us.
So what do you do?
And part of the reason they want this money, or part of the reason they believe that the contract should be updated, is because the original contract started in 2009, and as we all know, inflation and pandemics and general insanity have raised the prices of just about everything a lot in the last 15 years.
Yeah, staffing, medical treatment, the fuel to get the vehicle. I mean,
everything.
Executive director pay. And guess what? When the average Joe is just struggling to pay their credit cards or their grocery bills or their overhead, they're not going to donate at the same clip to the SPCA that's asking for donations.
Yeah.
So the SPCA is like, dude, we're hurting. Charlottesville and Albemarle, help us. If you don't, we don't want to be the bad guy or play hardball, but you need a pound legally in both your jurisdictions, and we may have to pull pound service from you. Please give us more money. We're coming to you hat in hand.
Yeah.
Crazy effing story.
And it sounds like the city and the county have been
playing hardball with them back.
Yeah. Who Jones says, Libby Jones, she is the current executive director, says we have fulfilled information requests, static requests, as well as provided contract, proposed language, and other proposals, and we have not really received any feedback.
There it is. What a story.
So maybe it's time to Take your ball and go home.
That was good. Well done, Judah. Go out with the Costanza high note with that one. That was good. That was very good. Judah Wickower was sensational all this week. Absolutely sensational.
Thank
We
you.
had items that didn't get in the notebook. We had so much content today, including Star Hill Brewery celebrating its 25-year anniversary on the near horizon. Kevin Yancey, thank you for putting that on our radar, including Maryland and UVA, 8 o'clock tomorrow night, Scott Stadium. The Wahoo's a 2.5-point underdog, over-under at 54.5. Now it's dropped. Actually, it's at 57.5 still, so it stayed the same. And how about Greer Achenbach and the Downtown Spotlight? Yesterday, they had an economic development director, they had a restaurateur, and they had an event producer all on one show. Greer!
Yeah.
Your first show was sensational. Friends of CVille, well done with the first show, the Downtown Spotlight, right here on the I Love CVille Network. Judah Wickower, Jerry Miller, thank you kindly for joining us. So long, everybody.